quick intro and we're going to jump right in. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Disabilities Redefined. I am here with the legendary Ben Mattlin, who is a great author. He has written numerous books, one of which that I have really learned a lot from. Miracle Boy Grows Up. And I feel like I know you, Ben. I've read this book and it is amazing. And then the other book that I'm not through with, I'm going to be honest with you, but I'm loving it, is In Sickness and in Health, Love, Disability, and a Quest to Understand the Perils and Pleasures of Interabled Romance. And this is a great book. I will advise people, read this one first, because you will get to meet Miss Mary, and then you'll get to know her better in the other one.
Good,
So,
good. Yeah.
yeah, it's a pleasure to speak to you. I do want to start off very quickly. When you wrote this book, Miracle Boy, it is very honest. You are so honest in this book. Yes. Did you tell us just quickly the importance, and it's a great book, by the way. Tell us the importance of being honest.
Uh-huh. Well, it looks like you have the paperback there. Is that right? Yeah.
Yes.
It's only available on Amazon. I hate to plug Amazon, but that's the kind of deal we got. It corrects some errors from the original hardcover and has an intro from the YouTube star Shane Burkhall. So I urge people to consider getting the paperback.
Yes.
But when I started to write this, I read a bunch of memoirs because I wasn't really familiar with the form. And I figured there's no point in doing it if I'm not honest. It's got to be, parts of it have to be even a little painful emotionally to, take my mind back to some of the troubles that I went through.
Right.
I think it's important to make the memoir authentic,
Yes.
you know?
Yes. Well, you use that word in one of so I'm just going to read some passages, some
Right?
half pages, and tell me about it. I have quite a few, but we're not going to get through all of them. I can tell you that already.
Uh,
But I do have a few that I really did enjoy. And the first one, and thank you very much. And you use that word authentic in one of these pages that I'm going to read here. So I recognize that word. You use it, and it's a wonderful word to use. So here you are in the sixth grade. And you say, in the sixth grade, when I turn 11, Quentin threatens to push my chair down the stairs for no discernible reason. The long-haired boy who's frightened me since first grade. He still has the beady eyes that never take me in whole. We're alone in the hallway. I told my friend Adam to go ahead, not to be late for his class, because I'm confident someone else will come along for me. Quentin happens to be the first person who does. I could push you right down those steps, and you couldn't stop me, he says coolly, between heavy breaths. You say, you won't. I answer, though I believe it's entirely capable of acting on his minatory words. I'll tell, and you'll be in deep shit. I'll say it was an accident. And then you say, I can make people believe me. So you tell him you can make people believe you.
yeah.
And then it goes on to the end was he just walked away and left you alone. But those words, I can make people believe me, uh, they touched me. They stuck with me. Yeah.
Now that's my memory. I always felt I knew as a kid that, well, I guess that I had away with words, that adults would listen to me in a way they might not listen to other kids. When I first started to try to write this, uh, it was all very upbeat. And my agent said there has to be some danger, some sense of, to make readers care and turn pages. And I thought, I didn't have any troubles. I have a fortunate background. And then I thought about it more. And I thought, well, things could have gone badly. Yes, I was fortunate, but, whoops, hang on, go to sleep. My computer is listening. Microphone up. Okay. I realized that I had to face up against certain external challenges, not just my body, but other people, the obstacles that they put up, and their, some people's discomfort around me, and I had to face that. So that story is true, as best I would call it, and I think in my head I was channeling certain heroes of mine, superheroes, TV heroes, and I was not gonna let him know that I was afraid. I was afraid, but I did not want him to know that.
Well, he didn't know because he left you alone.
Simulaimer? Yeah,
Yeah. Well, listen, you have given
yeah.
me the perfect segue into our next passage here. It's on page 93. And uh, Ben, I'm reading with the light over me, so it's taking me a few minutes for my eyes to adjust. I didn't
Yeah.
plan on this when I planned for the interview, but this is from a chapter you called What I Gained and Lost in College. And I love this passage as well. And it talks about some of your real life heroes and some of your superheroes. So it was a great passage that you gave. So you say emulating Updike and his ilk is nothing more than an attempt to appease mom's ghost and win dad's approval. And as far as I know, at that point, authors in this league don't write about disabilities, except perhaps symbolically as precursors to death or metaphors for emotional and societal damage. Tiny Tim, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. These are victims galore. There are victims galore. Cancer sufferers, blind or limping young women ripe for abuse, and demented, deformed villains such as the Hunchback Richard III, or paralyzed Miss Clennon from Little Dorrit. I don't see myself in them. To me, the best are the inspirational heroes, the plucky overachievers who overcome impossible hurdles, like FDR, Chief Ironside, and the blind superhero Daredevil, say. But is there no place for educated society for someone like me, unless I'm an overachiever? Where is the disabled Richard Wright or Ralph Ellison? Where is the authentic disability experience? There you go. You use the word authentic there. So beautiful. I love it. So do you
Good.
think you do understand you're a superhero to a lot of people with this book. It has become an anthem and it has become quite respected. So
Uh,
give me your thoughts on that.
uh, yeah. Huh. One fear I had uh, before I started writing it uh, was that too often, it seems to me, when a disabled person tells their story, uh, the reaction is, oh, you're an exception. You're an inspiration. You're a miracle boy. Uh, rather than looking at the broad picture. Uh, I am just an example, really, of a lot of other folks who've been through somewhat similar experiences. So I made it a point to include in the book references to the larger disability rights movement, which I realized it kind of came of age as I was coming of age. And I felt it was important for me not to take all the credit for my life's achievements. I owe a lot to those great advocates who came before me,
Yes.
as well as to my family and so forth.
Yes, absolutely. That is a beautiful point you just made. And I did want to ask you, what in the year 1990, a lot happened. Um, the capital Capitol crawl, the ADA, yes, yes, and you were interviewed a lot. Uh, what do you think of that year, 1990? It kind of stands out as a a year for the disabled population.
Yeah, well, of course, when the ADA passed, which was the first major civil rights law for disabled folks, I never thought it would pass. I couldn't believe it. But it did, and there are still efforts in some circles to undermine it, chip it away, get rid of it, uh, which we will fight
Yes.
very strongly. The law is far from perfect, however. For instance, it's only enforced through lawsuits. So a disabled person has to kind of look like a crank. You have to take someone to court, and it's all on us to right the wrongs. That's a problem. But yeah, go ahead.
No, well, I did want to say though that you said you were an example, and I think that that is a great way of putting it. But you also, we do want to tell people, and I didn't say this in your intro because I wanted to just jump right into the interview, but you also are a graduate of Harvard, and you've written for numerous very well-known publications, and you're often cited as well. So you are an example, Ben, but you're a very good example. I know that in the book it kind of says that maybe you hinted around that you didn't want to go to Harvard
Sure,
yeah.
sure.
So yeah, and as I was reading the book, and that brings us to our next passage. So I'll just read it to you very quickly. Yeah, it says Harvard is a bad place to be sad. There's little comfort to be squeezed from its cold, hard, ancient bricks and hyper-competitive population. Making matters worse, sealing my fate of loneliness is the administration's maddening breach of promise. At the end of my freshman year, I learned I still could not have regular roommates even upon moving into the upper class houses. The deans had thought they could accommodate my urgent request, even encouraging me to choose from among a short list of options: primarily a small rooming group at Courier House off the old Radcliffe Quad, roughly equivalent to Campus Siberia, or a big suite in a Mather House, usually reserved for seniors. I tutored both and chose Mather, then the deans reneged. They alleged Mather hadn't been tested for safe, adequate accessibility. It goes on to say in the last paragraph that you continue on with this, and you did end up. Well, where did you end up staying that your sophomore year? Where did you? Where did
In
you?
Quincy House.
Quincy House. Okay,
Yeah.
right now. Today, if someone wanted to stay in any of those places, have they made it better? That's why I wanted to read what you wrote
I
because,
don't know. I
yeah,
don't know. I doubt it. They're very old buildings, most
right,
of them. Uh, I don't know. I've never been back. Not for
yeah,
any reunion, nothing. Uh, I left with a kind of a bitter taste in my mouth.
yes.
Uh, for all those reasons.
Yes, well, that is why reading this book is so important because I think that it's important. I've always been an advocate of storytelling. And I love what you say about authentic. I love what you say about an example because you just said it yourself, you've done so well and oh,
Yeah,
sorry. Are
yeah,
you speaking to Miss Mary?
yeah. That's
Yes, tell
right.
Miss Mary I said hello. I feel like I
Okay.
know her.
All right. Uh, go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, um, uh, I just did appreciate you speaking about Harvard, and to be very blunt, let's just get to the point. It wasn't like rah rah Harvard. Oh, it's Harvard. It's the best place on earth. You really went there. You really told the truth. You really spoke about what it was like, and yeah, that was a great thing because it helped so many other people. And that's a great thing. So Ben, listen, you were incredibly honest about a lot of things in this book, and we're winding up now. You were also honest about the S word, sex. Now, listen, I know Miss Mary is there with you. So I'm going to get blush myself. I'm already getting blush, but you go there on certain things. Page 171, when you speak about porn. I'm not going to read everything because I don't want to blush. But you speak about how that at times when you learned how to and you got adapted to the computer, you'd be watching porn and it would stuck.
Yeah, true, true.
Yeah,
Been a
and,
while, but it's
and the
true.
computer would stick. I'm blushing, Ben. I'm sorry, man. Listen, this is a first.
Good.
I'm speaking to a legend about sex, and I'm blushing. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Hey, it's the life, okay? But at the end of the day, and you would say, I love this. You would say, oh, help me. But it's the pop-ups. They just popped up out. Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
said, I knew how to convince people. I knew how to
Yes.
lie,
There you
too.
go. You always, as we would say in England, you always had the gift of the gab. Yeah. Yeah. So, Ben, anything else? I mean, I just brought that up. I don't really have a question about that, but I did appreciate because you spoke about the authenticity. I guess the final question would be as I was reading the book, because I am a counselor at the City University of New York, York College campus. I I'm a career counselor under the LEADS program, Linking Employment, Academic, and Disability Services. So I work with a disabled population that are up and coming.
Mm.
And since I've read your book, I have referred this book to so many people
Good.
to buy and to read. And I also teach psychology in at on campus, and I get portions of the book and put in my lecture, but especially when we're dealing with discrimination and prejudice and the whole nine yards. So,
Ah,
uh, Did you have an audience in mind? I always think about this when I'm reading people's, because I love to read biographies. And over the past 15, 20, 25 years or so, I've read quite a few dealing, with disability, or advocates or politicians or that dealt with disabilities, because that's my line of work. But did you have an audience in mind when you wrote this book? For example, did you want to reach incoming college students? Did you want to reach people embarking on careers, or did you just want to have a message? What was your mind did you even have an audience and just wanted
Good
to share your
question.
story?
Good question. I don't know. I had wanted to have a book published for so long. Uh, and I finally had, the opportunity, and I just wanted to show off, really, to just put everything I could in there and show the world uh, that I could write. Uh, so I did not have a specific reader in mind, just as many readers as possible, I think.
Right. Okay. That's well. You managed to do just that. You have quite a few readers, and I'm going to say, Ben, I'm going to be very honest with you. Until I was really preparing for this interview, I never really enjoyed the photographs. So whenever I just continued to read and looked over
Uh,
them. Yeah, so for anybody reading, also, the book is captivating, but the photographs are amazing as well. We will edit some of these in whenever we put this together, which will be
Great.
very soon, because we're not going to need a
Good.
lot of edits.
Good.
So yes, but listen, Ben, you are really one of my heroes. I really appreciate this time. Please keep up your hard work. I know that you're often on YouTube, and I do follow you. So I would love to keep in touch. And this really has been a highlight of my career, spending this time with you. I've read so many biographies, but autobiographies, and this is one that really did make me feel happy that I'm doing what I'm doing. So thank you
Well,
very much.
thank you. It's very nice. I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
flattered. Uh,
Well, I'm
may,
flattered.
may, may I ask you a question?
Sure.
Your voice, your accent, where are you from?
Oh, that is a good question, and everybody asks.
Uh, uh,
My all of my friends who are watching this is going to say, "There you go, getting that question again."
great
Okay,
voice.
now listen. I was born and raised in a little old country county in South Carolina. Um, you ever seen these kind of rural South, like in the boondocks in Savannah, Georgia?
Okay.
And oh yeah, so
Yeah.
I was it was right there on the line of going from Savannah, Georgia, into Jasper County,
Uh,
South Carolina. When I went to college in Lander University
uh,
in South Carolina, I started doing some teen modeling, and I won an exchange. And what happened was, is when I went to England, I stayed on for a few years studying and working in fashion.
hmm.
And then one thing led to another, and I ended up in New York City. And all this time, I never really got a degree. I was just kind of working in fashion and doing
Uh,
whatever. That's the fashion. But I couldn't wait to get out of it. And so I came to New York, and I was in my mid to late 20s, and I got this place. And to be honest, it's very near Hunter College
hmm.
of the City University of New
Yeah.
York. And one day I was on a shoot in Central Park, and I was getting sunburned, and I was already by this time up in age a little bit, and and I'm broke. I don't do well in the sun, I like I'm broken out now a little bit
Uh,
because of the sun. So I was fed up, and I said, you know what? Enough is enough. So I walked into Hunter College, filled out the app, filled out and took it back the next day, and started my education trajectory. I'd always wanted to get into mental health and work with
uh,
the disabled
yeah.
population. because I grew up and I was very, very, very close with a blind cousin.
Ah,
And so she passed away in her late teens. So uh, that's so I guess to answer the question, I kind of got into a little career,
ah,
trajectory
ah,
myself there. But
ah,
Carolina, England, and New York.
fabulous,
Yeah,
fabulous.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And I've been
terrific.
here. I've been in New York for a long time. I just turned 58 a few days ago. So I'm 58. So
Happy
I'm no.
birthday.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
happy
And
birthday.
yes, yes.
Wow.
And I live near where you used to live up here on the Upper East Side.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah. The school you speak of is right down the street from me
oh,
here.
super.
Yes. So see, we are good friends in one capacity or another.
Wow. That's great. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Listen, Ben, thank you so much. I
My
will
pleasure.
continue to read your books and continue to get the word out about you. And what can
Super.
I say? Thank you, Ben. This has been a pleasure. Thank you very much. And
Thank you.
all the best. Tell Miss Mary I feel like I know her and that
Okay.
I wish her the best as well. Okay?
I appreciate it. Thank you.